Here we go. I think this is the winner. Yep, got him. All right. Sorry for the technical difficulties, everybody. With any luck, you will not really notice a thing, because there's not a big chance of that happening. The basement door is unlocked. Come on down. Grab a chair, put on your favorite slippers, and we'll get back to playing. Let's see. So, last time we left off, if you're just on Twitch, I did have a video that posted on YouTube that was kind of the second episode. That covered basically just my own quirks as I was trying to decide how I wanted to organize everything. Basically, I didn't like the loose leaf nature of the organizer that I had found, but I did like all of the information that was available to store in it. So what I ended up doing was just grabbing a little notebook and just started filling it in that way. So we'll continue right where we left off. I'm hoping to finish wrapping up the town map, the metropolis of Rularn, and then we could hopefully get into playing. So be here for a minute. Drinks are in the mini fridge. Go ahead and grab one, and we'll get started. Previously, when I made this map in episode 1, I just, as the rule book dictated, I dropped the dice on the map, and we started with that idea. I kind of started, I kind of outlined things in pen here. You can see I'm going to put it on this page here, and then we'll start filling in things from there. And some of you might ask, Mage, why are you spending so much time on this? I just think that all solo gaming is playing. Kind of got that idea from Geeks and Gamers. If you haven't seen her YouTube channel, check it out. And I kind of wanted to let people see how things turn out when you start playing on your own solo-wise. So we'll grab our pencil. Maps are generally better in pencil. And we're not too concerned with making mistakes here. I am just going to kind of give a little outline. I might soften some of these curves here. You can see that I was kind of sticking to the hex map. Not really super concerned with much of anything. We'll just kind of swing down, swing wide, and then we'll just kind of do this. Perfect. This kind of represents the outer markings. One thing I'm going to do here is I'm not going to be concerned with streets and individual buildings for this particular map. You can do that if you like. Personally, I'm going to treat it kind of like a, I don't know what you would say, basically like a overview, essentially. So over here, the Temple District is in the far north. So you can see that I actually have this as a pretty large district here. This is supposed to be a metropolis size, which is quite large. I'm going to tighten that up a little bit because I don't think, based off of the deities in Shadowdark, I don't think the Temple District would actually be that large. So I'm just going to do a little, write the little word temple. We're going to write a little number 1 in here. We'll go ahead and put that in our map key. And you can see here that we're just kind of organizing the information similar to that Game Master Kit that I mentioned previously. So we'll go ahead and set that to the side. So that's the Temple District. I'm not going to worry too much about the Temple District. I am going to write a number 2 here, and that's going to be the slums. And the fantasy settings, I'm going to make these slums probably a little bit larger. You can see here on this map where I was trying to decide how big I wanted it to be and whatnot. So the slums are probably going to kind of, well, we'll just do a little thing like this for the Temple District. And we'll say that the slums kind of connected to it. And you can see that the slums kind of come down here. They're going to be tough living for these people. And you can already see here that the slums maybe isn't quite matching up. I think I might want to make that just a little bit bigger. So we're just going to grab our eraser. You can see that it comes down almost all the way down here. And we're going to go ahead and do kind of this number. That's kind of an idea. The University District is down here. We'll stay up here first. You can see that the Castle District is pretty big on this map. Similar to the temples, I'm going to make it kind of smaller. So I'm just going to write the word castle here, put a little number 3 next to it. And around the castle is going to be the market district. So I'm going to write market here, little number 4. And the market district is going to be pretty big because people kind of trade there. It's going to kind of encompass the castle district. Kind of something like that. And we're going to have a gate come out of the market district. We are going to have a gate come out of the temple district as well. We then have the artisan district. I think that'll probably kind of flow through here. The artisans, I think, will be a little bit kind of medium sized, I think. So this, and actually, let's go ahead. Turn on disturb mode. There we go. Now we shouldn't have any interruptions. All right. Now, that being said, oh, I wrote a little number 5 in there with no context. So we're going to call this the artisan district. And that's going to be a little number 5. And that's going to be pretty large. We're going to go ahead and kind of medium size. Artisans need space to make things to sell at the market. Then we have the low district here. That's going to be kind of a little bit larger as well, similar to the slums in this particular metropolis. So we got the low district. And I think they're going to be a little bit more numerous, kind of represent kind of a median between the upper class and kind of the lower and middle class. And that's just kind of going to be here. There's I know I have a line here, but it'll probably be kind of blended throughout. And then down here is the university. University district. A little circle. Circle. There we go. And we'll probably have an exit coming out of here, and probably one out of the slums as well. I imagine that the hoity-toity types will want all these guys coming across the town, and probably want to have something over here representing maybe another area coming off this way. That'll be for our discovery when we play. All right. So you can see here, each district has 1d4 main points of interest. ahead and move this guy off to the side. We are done with him. So 1d4 main points of interest. And then we have our different areas here. So what we'll do, I'll set this guy off to the side. We're going to grab some dice. Best part of solo playing. Go. Make sure that's clear. Nice. Perfect. Ooh, nice. All right. So the Temple District is going to have 1d4 areas. So we'll do that. If you guys are finding yourself walking in or watching, feel free to follow, hit the thumbs up button, or subscribe if as you're coming in. And let's get back to it. 1d4 points of interest. So we got 2 points of interest here in the Temple District. Here we are. So I'll roll 2d6. I got a 3 and a 4. We have a minor deities chapel and a forbidden shrine. Interesting. That'll be interesting to unlock more information on that. Let's see here. So I'll do a little 2 here. And this is the slums. That's 1d4. Ooh, just 1 point of interest. Number 4 has a criminal safe house. Interesting. All right, guys, let me know what you think the minor deities chapel should be. Give me ideas for minor deities. The book gives us ideas for kind of the 9 main gods, but minor deities, I think it's open. So give us an idea. And in fact, I'm going to use the prompt table. We're going to roll 2d100. Let's see, we got a 55. Invite and a 22. Invite obstacle. All right, so anything that comes to mind using those 2 words, invite obstacle, go ahead and let me know how that links to the deity's chapel or the forbidden shrine. Considering that the shrine is forbidden, maybe we make the deity's chapel either lawful or neutral, and maybe we make the forbidden shrine a chaotic-based entity. All right, slums, we got the criminal safe house. Who do you think runs that? I think we'll find out later for sure because I have a thief in my party. Let's see. Number 3 is the castle district. Very nice. See how many points of interest it has. We got 2 points of interest. All right, let's roll 2d6. We got a 5 and a 6. A theater or a coliseum and the royal castle. So somebody very important lives here. I like this idea of like maybe the metropolis of Rularn is kind of almost half empty or something, with kind of the like maybe like a lot of houses are left empty, And maybe the royal castle is like this massive thing that hasn't been fully explored in this last few generations or something. I kind of like the idea of that. Let's see here. And then number 5 was a theater or a coliseum. Let's do odds or evens. If it's odds, it will be a theater. If it's evens, it'll be a coliseum. Evens, it is a coliseum. So people are fighting. Interesting. Do they fight each other? Do they fight monsters? Find out. Take a quick drink here. All right, friends. Let's see. That's our castle district. Let's pop over to the market district. How many points of interest do we got here? We got 2 again. Getting a lot of 2s on that D4. Might have to mix it up a little bit. And a 3 and a 6. So the first one in the market, rare and exotic goods. Interesting. I wonder what those could be. And then 6, an illicit black market. Interesting. Lots of things moving around through here. Between the Forbidden Shrine, the Criminal Safe House, the Colosseum, and both of these things in the market, I think we got some interesting things going on here. 5 is the Artisans. Here. We only have 1. A place of interest. A 6, which is a wealthy shop. I wonder what they used to do. Alright, that's 5. Now we have the low district. Let's see if we can get a 4 out of this guy. Yep, a 4. Nice. Alright, the low district has 4 places of interest. Let's see what we got going on. Alright, if you are just arriving, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And we're just making a map using the Shadowdark settlements on page 134. If you want to follow along or build your own, we're just here to have a little fun. Alright, the low district, we got a 4. So let's roll some d6s. Looks like I only got 3 d6s here right now. But, oh, 2 5s. Interesting. Alright, so this is the low district. So a 1 is a graveyard. Okay. Makes you wonder what cities don't have a graveyard. Then we have 2 5s, which are standard shops. You can see here that we'll be rolling shops on page 138. I'm just going to put a standard shop. We'll replace that with the names maybe. Take some notes off to the side. And then the last roll, another 5. Interesting. Another standard shop. All right, number 7. This is, let's see, 6, 7. It's the University District. Again, we got a D4. 4 points of interest here. Also interesting. All right. University is D6s. Ooh, I got a 2, 6, and a 6. So we have a lecture hall. And 2 wizard's towers. And then 1 more roll. Another one, another lecture hall. I think, oh wait, sorry, lecture hall is a 2 and a 3. We got libraries here. Libraries. Goodness gracious. I'm going to leave the first one as a lecture hall, and I'm just going to go ahead and make this one a library down here. That spices things up. Not too concerned about making mistakes through here. That's all part of the thing, right? Mistakes sometimes. All right, now taverns and shops. You can see I didn't get any taverns here. I'm assuming that in a metropolis there would likely be some. Maybe we just discover some as we go. Maybe this is just a starting point. So not super concerned. But for the 2 shops, or 3 shops, we're going to go to page 138. We're going to see what we do next. All right, so these are standard shops, so it takes a D10. We got 3 of those. We'll just take it one at a time. Got a 2. So this guy is a butcher. I'm going to erase standard shop and write in butcher. Three is a tailor. And let's see what we got. And a 4. 2, 3, and 4. Nice. Blacksmith, a common blacksmith. Okay. All right. Now we got a shop generator. Looks like we need 1, 2, 3 D20s here. So for the butcher, we got a 12, royal, a 16, royal wares, and a 5. Known for its resident cat, Crumpet. All right, now the tailor shop. We got a 16, 18, and 16. So tailor is the golden lantern. It is known for 16. All goods are dyed blue. Everything is blue. Lots of blue in the town, I guess. All right, now for the common blacksmith. 11, 17, 18. Okay, 11. Gregor's. 17. Gregor's Market. Known for 18. Famous bronze imp statue. So that's where we're at now. If you're just walking in, hopefully you can hit that follow button if I've earned that from you. I'm just going to take a quick drink and we'll get back to it. All right. Thanks for being here. Go ahead and put in the comments where you're from. I'd be interested to find out. Might be a little bit slow on commenting or responding back, but I'd love to know where you guys are from, what you're up to, and what you think of Shadowdark. Alright, I think that's it basically for everything here. We got the 2 wizards towers. I think I'll wait on filling out the rest of this, basically. For my notebook, I did end up, so I have the index here. This is the world map. We're starting here on Rularn. We'll fill this in as we go, hopefully. And world map index, nothing there yet. Here's our map of the metropolis. And then I do have my heroes in the back. I set up a couple more heroes, but I'm just playing with the 2 for now. We'll see what happens because we only have 1 and 2 hit points, respectively. So, all right. Now for the opening scene. What season are we thinking that we want to start in, my friends? Let's call this. Oh, I can move this out of the way now. We're all finished here. Do a little bit of cleanup. Let me check this out, make sure that you guys can see everything. I'm going to maneuver this a little bit. What that looks like. Try to pull this in just a smidge. There we go. Perfect. All right. So, I think we're done with this fella. We'll just close him up for a minute. And let's see about the opening scene, shall we? I think I'm going to give us a little roll on the prompts table. This is in the Solodark pamphlet. I just blew it up. You can see this is a little small. So all I did, well, actually it's about the same size, isn't it? Pretty much. That's okay. I'll just set that to the side. I'm going to roll a prompt using the D percentiles, and we'll see what we can come up with. So we got an 80, int, and 78, safety. All right, so our heroes, Farron and Sidaros. Farron's the thief. Sidaros, the wizard. All right, they are traveling through our metropolis. The prompt was hint, safety. As they're wandering through, Sidaros ushers them into a side street, and he tells his friend Farron. He says, "I think I have a lead where we can make some gold out here." Both of these guys, Sidaros the wizard is probably a initiate or an apprentice to one of the wizard's towers, and Farron is a thief, so he probably lives in the slums, I would imagine. He's probably not like that great of a thief, all things considered. His stats are pretty low. I actually probably could have re-rolled both of their stats, honestly, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so Sidaros tells his friend Farron, "I think I've heard of a place that might be able to make us some gold. All we gotta do is march out to it and see what we can find. It's a, what would you call it? Let's see about the dungeon names. We'll do D percentile 3 times. 89. Depths. 58. Depths of the golden brothers. All right, so Sidaro says, I was reading a history book and on the region. Now that we're allowed to travel out from the city a ways, and heard of this dungeon called the Depths of the Golden Brothers. Farron strokes his chin and says, how far away is it? And for that, we're going to roll 2d6, I think, miles. 8 miles. Sidaro says, I'm not sure on the details exactly of what's around it, but it's 8 miles. 2, 3, 8 miles to the east. 8 miles to the east. So we're going to take this little guy. Eight miles to the east. So this is 6 miles. So 8 miles to the east puts it basically right next to the inn. I'm going to use a little square to represent the depths of the Golden Brothers. All right. And Farron thinks about it, and he says, probably, I think we can scout it out. We have some rations on us. I'm not overly fond of leaving the city, but if we can make some money, it might be worthwhile. So we'll do a jaunt out and then see what happens. All right, so Sidaros claps his hands excitedly, and the two will see about outfitting themselves and heading out. Overland travel is the thing that I want to look at here. All right. Travel per day. Per day they can do 4 hours, so it's going to be, oh sorry, time per hex. Hexes are 6 miles across, so it'll take them 4 hours to go 6 miles, so 5 hours to go the 8 miles, give or take. All right, so it is 5 hours time. And yeah, we'll see what it looks like. It is a grasslands area on the world map around Rularn. But then they're going to be getting into something a little bit, well, possibly different. So let's see here. We're going to be checking, let's see. The area around Rularn is deadly. But let's generate this area's terrain. Let's see what we got there. Overland hex maps is 132. I'm going to go ahead and unfold this screen so that I can see what we got. This is just the Shadowdark Game Master screen. I'm checking it out to see how much I like it in playing. So I'm just going to stand it up. If there's anything important on it, I'll pull it down so you guys can see it, but I don't want to take up too much table space, basically, with everything going on. Place Solodark off to the side. All right, so let's see, roll on the new hex table treatment steps. Let's see, to begin on an overland hex map, roll or choose a starting terrain. They are in grasslands. Each time the characters move into an empty hex, roll on the new hex table, treat steps on the hex terrain table as a circular loop. Jump back to the beginning. If you roll a new hex result, that would count you off the chart. For each hex, roll a d6 on a 1. That hex has 1 point of interest. Okay, interesting. So, new hex, we're going to roll 2d6. We got a 3 total. So, current terrain plus 1 step. We're in grasslands. We make it into forest, basically. So, as they travel, they immediately get into this forested terrain. I'm going to represent that with some trees. Again, we're not interested in what people think of our maps. We're just doing what we can, make it interesting for us. Perfect. So we got Rularn. We got, I'm going to put a little number 2 next to this little square. So we are in the forest. The danger level, what are we looking at here? It is deadly. All right, that's fine. And is there a point of interest? We're looking for a 1. There is not a point of interest. We're just entering a deadly forest. All right, so Rularn was kind of in the middle of this 6-mile grassland. So our party, our heroes, start heading east. They encounter the forest. Roll number 2. Forest is deadly. Oh, the grasslands was deadly as well. So I'm going to be rolling a random encounter every hour. It is a 5-hour trip. So we're going to be rolling 5 times on a 1 in 6 chance of encountering something. All right, so the first 3 hours, we do not have anything. And then the next 2, no random encounters are generated. All right, that's lucky for them as they travel. Looking at the forest, Farrand seems not too excited to enter, but they are elves after all, and elves do enjoy a nice forest. All right, so they enter the forest, making their way through the trees. It begins as kind of this a little bit nicer looking green forest, but as they continue inside, the trees kind of get darker, and it's easier to lose their way as the sky is blotted out by their by the large canopy of tree leaves, and they eventually come to a let's call it, let's see, the depths of the Golden Brothers. All right, so Sidaros the wizard, he's looking at this old book that he has, and he sees like a drawing of these kind of 2 statues, essentially, arms folded, standing on either side of this archway in the side of this hill, basically. And as they're looking, let's see if they can find it. So I think we'll do a intelligence check or a wisdom check. I think an intelligence check probably, as they try to figure out from the description in the book and the area around them where this thing is at. So we're going to roll 16, and it'll be Sidaros, who has a +0. So 16 is perfect. For those of you who know Shadowdark, there's, I think, 4 difficulty classes. Normal is 12, I think. I think 15 is difficult. So yeah, I'm going to write that down for future reference, I think, so that I can have an easier time. Oh, I don't need to. It's right here. Nice. Right in the front cover. All right, so they have discovered the entrance to the depths of the Golden Brothers. Now they look at each other, they look at the entrance, and it's only been 5 hours in game time. So they look at each other, they look at the dark portal in the side of the hill. They can just make out stairs going down. They're going to examine the statues of the brothers and see if there's any treasure on them. Are they made of gold? Are the Golden Brother statues golden? Or is there any treasure on them, basically? Here's the oracle we're going to be using. This is directly from the Solodark pamphlet. And we're going to roll a d20. I got an 11. It's a yes, but. So, we're going to say that there is treasure involved. And what should we call it? Let's see. There's a unique feature table here that I think I'm going to roll on to see if it gives me kind of an idea. So these statues are golden, or depicting the Golden Brothers. I need a D8 and a D4. So D4, D8. Both of them are a 2. So burned. Interesting. So there is a treasure. Let's see. The statues are burned. So they're going to take a little bit of time, maybe an hour, kind of looking over. Well, an hour is kind of a long time. We'll have Sidaros keep an eye out, where Farron, he's a thief. That's kind of his thing. He's going to go around the statues and kind of investigate them and see what he can find. Ooh, a 6. Yep, he does note some bits and pieces, but he doesn't think that they are they're worth salvaging. So you might find like a couple of bits of silver. Let's see. So it's not worth any experience points, but let's roll 2d6 to see how much silver he finds. 7 pieces of silver. All right. Farron says, I don't know what happened here, but the statues are all burned. Are you sure you want to enter? Sidaro says, absolutely. Does the book tell us what's down in the dungeon? I'm going to say that there's a high probability that the book is maybe damaged beyond repair, something like that, where it doesn't tell us exactly what's in the dungeon. So we're going to roll on the yes/no oracle at disadvantage. So we'll roll 2 dice and we'll take the lower. Both of them rolled a 15. So, yes, but what? So the book does say what's down there. But I think that the book is probably very old. Maybe decades, maybe up to 100 years old, maybe. So let's do a D percentile to get an idea. 93. So the book is 93 years old. So we're going to say that it's probably a little bit damaged. It does give us an idea of the opening, and it does mention the Golden Brothers' treasure, which maybe is maybe the, what would we call it? I'll have to think on that one a little bit. I think that it would be interesting to have maybe some kind of legendary item. Let's ask the Oracle. Is it a legendary item? Ooh, an 8 is a no, so it's not a legendary item. But it is a treasure. So we're going to call it a treasure hoard, maybe. Maybe it references the Golden Brothers' vast hoard in the dungeon. All right. So our friends will go ahead and light a torch and enter the dungeon. I'm going to go ahead, take a blank piece of paper. We will label it with a compass rose. All right, so when they enter 7, so it goes off to the northwest as soon as they enter. So they walk in. Here's our entrance. We got 2 statues on either side of the entrance, the 2 brothers. And our group walks in, and the room, or the stairs, immediately kind of head downward the northwest and ends in a door. Is it locked? No, it's not locked. Perhaps it's stuck, but it is not locked. It's been there for quite a while. Is there anything depicted on the door? 16 is a yes. So the door is very ornate. Maybe has the brothers depicted on the door itself. And let's see here. All right, Farrand will take a look at the door and see if it is trapped. Got a natural 1, so he did not see any traps. So Farrand will take a hold of the handle, and he will attempt to open the door. Now, Farrand didn't see a trap, but is it trapped? I got a 10. It's a twist. All right, this is our first twist, everybody. All right, so we're going to roll on the prompt here. We got a 92. Uphold. 27. Uphold glory. Uphold glory. this twist, uphold glory. All right. So he opens the door, pushes it open, and it will open up onto a room. And how to do this uphold glory. Let me think here. All right. Maybe it's worth a visit to examine what does it mean to be glorious. If you have a suggestion, go ahead and drop it in chat. I am going to just see if there's anything that I can get from the different definitions. High renown or honor won by notable achievements, magnificence or great beauty. All right. I think I'll go with that one, magnificence or great beauty. As they enter this chamber, they're just flooded with this beauty. There's and magnificence. So maybe the floors are marble, and there's inlays across all the walls. Let's see how many exits it has. We're going to do a d4 minus 1. So there's one other exit, and we'll put it on the west wall. One exit. Is it a door? Yes, it is a door. So there's a door on the west wall. Is there treasure in here? Now we got uphold glory, so it's going to be quite glorious. So I'm going to roll with advantage. Is there treasure in here? I got an 8, which is a no. There's no treasure in here. So they walk in extraordinarily clean, magnificent. There's probably statues of the brothers. But to Farron's dismay, there's nothing of value in here. Now, this is where we're going to have to activate light. So Cerados is going to cast his light spell. He has advantage on that particular spell, so it's going to be an intelligence check. Add advantage, and he has +1. So because he has a -1 to nope, he has a +0 to intelligence. So +1 with advantage. DC is going to be 10 plus the spell level, so 11. He got a 12. So Cerados says the incantation, and a light springs into existence, and he holds it up to examine the area. All right, nothing here yet. This dungeon is probably likely deadly though, so I think it's time for a random encounter. 2 is no encounter. All right, so they will go into the next room, and Farron is going to examine the door to see if it's trapped. 7. He does not detect any traps. So I believe his... actually for thieving, he gets advantage. I forgot about that. 7 still. His wisdom is a -1. So he got a 6. So he does not detect anything. So he will also look at it. Is it locked? It is locked. All right, so Farron will take out his lock picks, and he will attempt to pick the lock. Ooh, a 19. That's a success. And he picks the lock and opens the door. Now the question is, was it trapped? 14 is a yes. He triggers a trap. And I think we're going to call it there. Ferrand triggers the trap. And we'll find out how that resolves next time. I'm going to try to be on probably 5:30 tomorrow night, Mountain Time, if that matters to any of you guys. And I appreciate everybody that shows up. Thank you for hanging out. You'll be able to find this video on YouTube in a little bit. I'll upload it there. But I appreciate you being here. Thanks for hanging out.